Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am super excited to be sharing some information with you today about the Competence Institute. Hi, my name is Ryan Kimball. I'm the co-founder of the Competence Institute, and we have a membership program that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today. What we're all about is helping you to gain the ability to learn anything so that you can fill in the gaps in your education, learn new skills, do things that you want to do in life, and improve your learning and knowledge level, whatever it is you want, by knowing how to learn anything and everything that goes with that and around that, right? So today I want to talk to you about one of the first things we do when somebody signs up for our membership, and that is to teach them how to make good choices. And we have a booklet that goes over how to make good choices in very simple terms. And the reason we do this is because if you want to learn anything, let's say you want to gain skills as a better marketer for your business, or you just came out of college and you're trying to break into your business, you're trying to become a manager for real estate in the hotel industry, or whatever it is you learned, right? You need to know how to learn anything, because you may know one skill, but you won't necessarily know how to do all the things that surround that skill that make you able to be successful in that field. Or you may not have learned that skill well enough, unfortunately, in school to be able to apply it and get results. And that's what I'm talking about when we talk about filling in the gaps in your education. You may have learned a lot, but can you apply it? Can you get all the results you want to? Well, there are specific steps to be taken on how to learn anything. And I always give this analogy. People are going to get tired of hearing this, but if you can drive from point A to point B, but you can't drive from point A to point C, then we say you can't drive, right? We say, okay, he can't really drive. He can drive from his driveway to the neighbor's driveway, and that's it. He can't drive from his house to. So really can't drive, right? We don't think of driving in terms of almost, or well, he can kind of drive, right? You can't drive fully, then you don't get a license, right? You don't pass your test, and you can't. So with learning, it's the same thing. If you want to learn something, you should be able to go from not understanding it to understanding and ability to apply and get results and be successful in it. And there shouldn't be any compromise with that. Barring physical disabilities, there should be no compromise with a person's ability to learn. If you can learn how to learn, then you can learn anything. It's just like driving. If you know how to drive, you can drive anywhere. Now, yes, we can make you better and better at learning anything, and you may have a particular knack in a certain area, right? But the idea of being able to learn information and getting a skill and applying it, be successful, that's what we're all about. And it starts with how to make good choices. You'll find that if you're not up to making good choices in life, if you're not up to being honest with yourself, you're not up to being aware of your environment and creating a life that is at least passable, you're not going to be able to learn anything. You're not going to be honest enough with yourself about what you're looking at, right? And we're going to get into that today. I'm going to go really rapid fire because I want to get through this and give you the information. And I've been told to try to keep these videos fairly short. So first of all, this is the book you get when you sign up. This is the first download that's available to you. You download it as a PDF. You also automatically get sent a book. The How to Learn book is a physical copy, gets sent to you in the mail, that'll arrive at your doorstep. While you're waiting for that, you do this book, and I will go over it with you in part right now. There's also videos for this. All of this will be in video training. But basics. So this book, the contents of this book includes starting with yourself, basically how to take care of yourself, be drug-free, right? So these are the first two steps. We found Mike, my partner, and I at the Competence Institute found, after working with people, we've done it for over 50 years combined, people who aren't taking care of themselves have a lot harder time with keeping their attention on what we're going over and actually being there enough to be able to learn anything, to be able to increase skills in any area. So it's kind of like a step that we require them to take a look at and get into some degree. That's saying you have to be a health nut or be able to run a marathon or anything like that, but you have to take care of yourself well enough so that it's not something that's holding you back from learning the skills that we're going to teach you, right? And then we have kind of moving into family. We have be faithful, help children, love and help your parents. Again, not saying anybody's family is perfect. If yours is, definitely let me know. That's something I want to know about. But you can work on making it the best it can possibly be with the given circumstances you have. And that includes these three basic concepts, right? And then Moving out from that, you have kind of broader concepts of set a good example, be truthful. So it's found that people who aren't truthful in life aren't truthful with themselves. And there's a certain, actually a really high level of integrity and truthfulness that you have to have in order to go through the process of knowing how to learn anything and then applying it to different areas of life. Learning things requires the ability to look at them and see what's actually there so that you can then be able to learn something about it. And as simple as that may sound, it's a vastly missing ingredient in most people's journey to learning something. And then moving out, these are kind of more broad societal rules. Do not murder, do not do anything against the law, support a government run for all the people, do not hurt a person who helps others, keep yourself in the area around you clean and neat, do not steal, right? Hopefully you catch all those. I'm trying to go slow enough here, but quickly at the same time. So the idea is you have to have a society where you can actually operate in. Now, if you're in an unfortunate situation where the society you're in doesn't follow those rules, you do the best you can. And that will allow you to be sane enough, aware enough, and there enough to be able to learn what we're going to teach you. And then moving on, these are more broad kind of things you need to have a good life. Be worthy of trust, help those who help you. Keep yourself busy and get things done, be able to do things well. Now, it's interesting. I always like to comment on this. In the first, these are some of the first chapters I'm going to take up with you. This book, How to Make Good Choices, is based on The Way to Happiness. And this is a children's book, technically, but we give it out and we have people read it because it's so simple. It gives the exact tools you need to have a good life, and only that, not other philosophical things or harder to understand things. This is the meat and potatoes, so to speak. And it's very powerful. But that said, most people don't think of their way to happiness or being happy necessarily as keep yourself busy and get things done and be able to do things well. In fact, in modern society, being busy is sometimes equated with not having fun or enjoying life, right? I'm too busy. How often do you hear that, right? So the point is that we're going to kind of flip some concepts on their head. Now, I love to have fun, and we're going to teach you how to have more fun in life, in fact, with the program that we do. And my partner, Mike, he's a lot of fun. But what we're talking about is having fun doing what you're doing while you're doing it, and not feeling like you need to be over doing something else and therefore not enjoying what you're doing. You know, you can have fun working if you're really competent and able at it and following the goal and purpose that you enjoy. But then you can also be good enough at it so you have the spare time to go out and travel with your family or whatever it is you'd like to do. Okay, so let's go through the rest of these. These are more broad for society type concepts. Respect the religious beliefs of others. Try not to do things to others that you would not like them to do to you. Try to treat others as you would want them to treat you. Do well and succeed in your way to happiness. So that's the rest of the chapters. And obviously those are broader chapters, go over broad concepts. And like I said, we're going to go over all these, but today I'm going to specifically go over what is probably a very foundational chapter called Be Able to Do Things Well, that then leads right into what Mike is going to teach you with that learning book, which if you're in the membership and you haven't received it yet, it's on its way. If you received it, you'll see what I'm talking about here. So being able to do things well requires some very, very simple, powerful steps. And some of the concepts I'm going to go over with you, you'll have a tendency to feel, oh, that's too simple. I know what these guys are talking about. That's just common sense. But the trouble is, if everybody knew these things and were really applying them, the world would be a completely different place. And you would be realizing all your dreams in life. And if you're listening to this video, that is possible. There are some more wins and dreams to be accomplished in your life, probably, right? So that's it. Let's dive right into this chapter a little bit, and this will serve as a good basic foundation. In our world today, with fast cars, machines, and computers, it is very important that people know how to do things well. Whether it's driving a car or running a business, if someone does not know what he is doing, it is dangerous for everyone, right? So having people who are competent around you is actually part of this. And as you learn what we teach, how to learn anything, how to think, how to have a life that is successful and happy, all of these concepts, you're going to be able to apply them and teach them to people around you. It's not like they have to come to Mike or I to learn these things. Now, yes, we're experts and we do this all the time and we love doing it. We'd love to work with other people, feel free to refer them. But the point is, you can take this information and spread it to everyone in your sphere of influence. And we hope that you do. Okay, let's continue this chapter. You should learn how to do things well and help others to do this too. You, your friends, and your family will have a better chance to live safely and happily if you do so. Now, if you're half listening or you're doing something else, stop what you're doing and listen to what I'm about to go over. I'm about to reveal the exact steps for how to learn how to do something well or how to learn anything, right? And these are super basic. And again, you're going to go, oh, of course, common sense, right? But then we're going to dive in. We're going to break it down and see why that isn't being applied fully in your life and what you can do to improve it, right? So listen up. Doing something well includes being able to look, learn, and practice. So I'll say that again. Doing something well includes being able to look, learn, and practice. Now that's significant because if you are not looking for yourself and you're not learning because you don't understand how to learn, and there is not a course that teaches you exactly how to learn anything. Like there are courses that teach you how to drive so you can drive anywhere. There's not a course out there that teaches you, that I'm aware of, how to learn anything. And it's apparent by what comes out of our modern school system, right? And the incompetence we see sometimes in life. Now, this isn't to take away from all the amazing things that are going on in the world and all the amazing people out there. But we want to help people be even more amazing, right? So we're not here to knock anybody or to say you didn't get what you should have out of your schooling or you're not a good person, able person, or any of that. More, we're here to say, hey, we can help you because you're so amazing, be even more amazing, right? That's more the flow. And that's how you should look at this and that's how you should take it. So I want to break these down. Look, learn, and practice. The first thing we're going to take a look at, and the only thing we're going to look at in this video, is the first step. Look, this is so powerful. If you can't look at something and be confident that you know what you see and you understand what you see, and it is your integrity. And so many people don't have that level of integrity or confidence in their own perceptions and ability to look at things, right? I'm not even talking about learning it yet. I'm just talking about looking at something and going, hey, that is that way. That's not that way. And it doesn't matter who says otherwise. That's what I see. That's my reality. You have to have that level of assertiveness and certainty in order to really learn something. But it's not hard to do that, mind you. I'm not saying any of this is hard. It just has to be done. Okay, let's read this little section on look. Look, you should trust what you see and not what someone tells you. That's the first sentence. I'm just going to take that apart a little bit. Most people accept information in two ways. This is not how you should accept information. It's not the road to learning and skill and competence, but it's how it is commonly done. Most people accept information because it's broadly agreed upon or because authorities say that it is so. If you look at that, and again, you should look at that. Don't accept this information as true just because I say so. I'm on some video that you think is sounding smart or something. Look at it yourself. That should go for anything you ever hear. And it's a very active and engaged life. It doesn't allow you to sit back and kind of just, we're so used to sitting back and Netflixing or other things maybe, but to learn something, you have to be active, involved. You have to be the source of your own learning. You have to be the drive behind it, right? So things are accepted because people broadly agree upon them and it must be right. Or somebody says, hey, this is the way it is. And I went to school and I have a PhD, or I have $1 million, or I'm a doctor, or I'm an athlete who makes millions of dollars and therefore I know. Not good sources. Or I'm a magazine that is all about business. I'm Forbes and I say that these are the businesses that are the best, therefore they're the best. That's not true for you unless you look at it and decide that it is. It's not true because Forbes said it does, or because a rich person says it is, or your doctor says it. None of that is true. It's true for you because you can look at it and decide for yourself. And that's the first step of learning. First step of living, really, but we're applying it to learning here. Okay, second sentence. Really look at things and decide for yourself what it is you see. Again, it's easy to get these kind of glasses, right? Where we're going, okay, I learned in school that molecules are made up of atoms and electrons and protons and I think neutrons or something. Therefore, that's what the world's made up of. Well, who looked at that? Let's dig into that, right? Maybe that's an inapplicable subject, but I learned in school that you should eat 60% carbs and 20% fat and 20% protein. And that's how you'll be healthy and live a long life and all the other good things. And then you go eat like that and you feel like crap, maybe, or maybe you don't. I'm not telling you how to eat. Although I am in the health world, so sometimes things just pop out of me. But the point is that you have to look at any information you're given and not take it because you were given to it by somebody who's an authority for you, or pursue a career because an authority said you should. Maybe your uncle, your great uncle, who's a multimillionaire, is an engineer. And therefore you're like, well, I'm going to be an engineer like Uncle Joe when I grow up. Why? Because Uncle Joe's an engineer, he's a millionaire, and that I want to be a millionaire, right? Well, good. That may be enough. If you've looked at it to that degree and you have certainty on it, great. But don't do it because everybody thinks that you should be an engineer because Uncle Joe makes a lot of money being an engineer. Do you want to make that type of money? Or maybe you want to be a doctor and save people's lives every day. They make good money too. Maybe not millions, but maybe they do. Anyways, the point is you have to look for yourself, not because an authority like your uncle or the people around you all agreed that this is what you should do with your life. Look for yourself, right? You may have even gone to school for a certain subject and then you look at it and go, hey, that's not for me. I'm going to do something else, right? Probably not the smartest move in your life. Go to school for something that's going to work for you is a good way to start this. But point is look for yourself, have your own integrity on it, right? So after this next sentence, then you can do something to learn about it. So only after. So you've got to look first, see what is there, and then you can learn about it. And if you're going into a subject and saying, well, I learned that XYZ is always true because my dad told me that. And I'm going to learn about this subject because my dad told me it's important. I'm going to become an architect because my dad was an architect and it's important to me, right? That's fine. Maybe that's good enough. But you might be learning the subject the way your dad would learn architecture, just following in his footsteps, which, mind you, is fine as long as you're doing it on your own determinism. If you haven't bothered to look at architecture and see what it's really about and see what you see when you look at a building or whatever it is you're being an architect for, then you may be learning an entire subject based on someone else's evaluation of it or the way they look at it instead of the way you look at it. And then you're not really learning anything. Or you may find halfway through the subject that it's not something you want to know about, right? Now, these are just certain examples. You can apply this to anything. You can apply this to relationships, right? And you can apply this to major decisions in your life. You have to look first before you can learn about the decision you're about to make. Okay, good. Is this a good spouse for me? Well, my parents think so. Right? Instead of going, okay, what are the criteria that would be a good spouse for me? And guess what? The only person going to tell you that is you. And again, this comes back to this integrity and this character and having a good high level life with a purpose and with meaning and all that, right? So we're going to teach you all that. But the start is these very simple basics, is teaching yourself to look for yourself and being willing to state what it is you're seeing and what you're looking at, no matter what anybody else is saying. Not trying to be contrarian all the time or disagree with everyone. In fact, you may find yourself agreeing more, but you're agreeing as yourself, not just because everybody else agrees, right? You may agree even stronger and more with more passion, right? A lot of people say you should get into a subject they're passionate about, you have a lot of interest in. And it ties into this look thing. You have to be able to look at a subject close enough to learn anything about it at all. And a lot of people only look at subjects they're really passionate about, really interested in. And there's a little secret here. You can develop interest or passion about any subject you want to, assuming it's a pro-survival subject, right? You could just go in and go, okay, good. I'm going to be very interested in how to build houses, and I'm going to learn all about them, and just decide to be interested. And it is possible to decide to be interested in something and continue to be interested in it. It's possible to create that. Interest is a creatable commodity, so to speak, as is passion about something and drive and all of it. So these all help you look. This is kind of the secrets behind looking. You want to be able to look more closely and get more out of what you're looking at and really understand it better. Increase your interest in it. Increase your passion about it. Increase your drive, your intention to be involved in it, right? So hopefully this is very powerful for you and useful. We're going to get into this a lot more. These are just videos to give you a little data about what we do and how we do it. There are specific ways of increasing interest and looking at things and understanding them more that allow you to learn anything. And I love helping people learn anything and watching them become super amazing and create super amazing lives. It's what I live for, really. So if you'd like to get more information, feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're on social media. The Competence Institute is the handle. And you can also email us, learn@thecompetenceinstitute.org. We'll get back to you either way. And we're looking forward to seeing you in our group, interacting with you. And if you just have a question, you want more information about something I went over, feel free to reach out for that as well. We're here to help. Okay, thanks. Have a great rest of your day.